Tracer is definitely the most identifiable character when it comes to the game Overwatch. She's an undeniable, indestructible force for good, and even though Overwatch is disbanded, that doesn't stop her from doing what she thinks is right. Speeding her way through the streets of London, Tracer is one of the most iconic characters to come out of Blizzard's latest PC juggernaut, and it's time to find out why. Hi, I'm Brendan with The Leaderboard, and we're here today to take a look inside this character who can skip through time and space. Think you'll be able to keep up? With the given name of Lena Oxton, Tracer hails from the city of London, England. She was originally a pilot for Overwatch and was chosen to test a teleporting aircraft known as the Slipstream. While testing the Slipstream, it malfunctioned and got lost in a completely different dimension, Tracer along with it. Though trapped outside of the flow of time, Overwatch was able to bind her to our plane of reality by suiting her with a special device invented by Winston called the Chronal Accelerator. This piece of equipment gave Tracer control over her blink and recall abilities, which have allowed her to further contribute to Overwatch's goals. The Chronal harness emits a blue energy trail that actually traces where she is on the map for players. Tracer was the first hero created by Blizzard for Overwatch and was fully implemented during early tests of the game. Part fighter pilot and park track athlete, she has a very unique design that's meant to convey the speed of her character. While not originally intended, Tracer became the unofficial mascot or face of Overwatch, simply because director Chris Metzen and the other team members just loved her so much. The more they brought Tracer to life, the more they wanted to put her in the forefront of the Overwatch storyline. Her voice actress is Cara Theobald, best known for her work on Downton Abbey. Tracer is a speedy character with a powerful kit. Her signature weapons, which are featured not only in the game but also in the promotional footage, short movies, and the comics, are her pulse pistols. The pulse pistols are a pair of short-ranged weapons that fire scattered laser bullets in a cone in front of the player. An interesting thing about the reloading animation is that it looks like Tracer is recalling her own guns in order to rewind the bullets back to them. In January of 2017, a YouTuber known as Laser Gadgets actually made working pulse pistols just like Tracer's. They're able to shoot bright blue lasers, but also have the ability to set things on fire, so he cautioned against using them for cosplay purposes. Tracer's ultimate ability is the Pulse Bomb, which is a sticky bomb that deals fat damage and insta-kills most characters if you stick them. Blink and Recall are the bread and butter of Tracer's kit. Blink allows her to zip across the map and take her enemies by surprise. This is great for getting behind enemy lines quickly, executing squishies, and getting out of there just in the heat of time. Careful though, you only get 3 charges at a time. A good strategy is to always have at least 1 blink charge on hand to get you out of a tough fight. Recall gives Tracer the ability to go back in time a full 3 seconds. This move can restock her health depending on how long you've been hurt and will always reload her weapons. This is also Tracer's primary escape tool and is considered one of the more reliable self-heals in the game thanks to how fast it works. Tracer is an effective offense hero thanks to her ability to zip in and out of fights in less than a second. A great strategy is to get behind the enemy team and distract them, allowing your other teammates to advance. It's always a huge relief for the team facing a Tracer to eliminate her from the fight even for a few seconds, so they'll often chase her and leave key positions open. To make up for her amazing kit, Tracer has very low health. This makes her an even more tempting target to fire at. That blue core flashing on her chest may as well be a target sign. She's strong against slower enemies who like to stay in the back of their team, such as Zenyatta, Hanzo, and Widowmaker. Director of Overwatch Jeff Kaplan recommends going Roadhog, whose crowd-controlling hook and burst-firing shotgun are perfect for getting rid of Tracer, even after his nerf. Soldier 76 with some great tracking can be a tough enemy for Tracer as well, especially if he lands a hit on her with his Tri-Rocket, which will take out most of Tracer's health. Winston with his automatic weapon tracking is great for dealing consistent damage to Tracer and crippling her. In the right hands, Tracer may seem like an unstoppable force, but she can always be countered and outplayed. Tracer has 18 different costume designs or skin choices, the most of any character in the game. She also has a whopping 10 legendary skins. She practically gets a new skin every other event, which is to be expected of Overwatch's poster girl. Several of Tracer's skins are pop culture references, which Blizzard has done before in games like World of Warcraft. 2 of her skins, T-Racer and its variation Mach T, are collective nod to the classic anime series Speed Racer. When she dons the racing helmet, she sometimes says the voice line,
"Here comes T-Racer,"
which is similar to the first line in Speed Racer's opening theme. Other pop references hidden in Tracer's wardrobe can be picked from 2 of her epic skins. The Sporty and Posh skins are a reference to Sporty Spice, Melanie Chisholm, and Posh Spice, Victoria Adams. Someone's a Spice Girls fan. Tracer also has 2 legendary skins that were inspired by the Summer Olympics in Rio back in 2016. Both are sporty and depict her as a runner, but one costume has her wear the colors of Great Britain's flag and also displays the British flag draped over her shoulder. shoulder, while the other skin has a more tropical and warm feel with the Rio Games flag over her shoulder. Tracer's sport was track and field, which is a nice callback to the track athlete design of her character. Lucky for us, the 2016 Summer Games skins are making a comeback this year. Available now! Tracer also has a legendary skin that is only unlockable by buying the Origins edition of Overwatch. For her Slipstream skin, Tracer dons aviator glasses and wears a more traditional, at least for this world, pilot's uniform as a reference to where she started in Overwatch. The legendaries don't stop there. Tracer also received an elf-themed legendary skin for the Winter Wonderland event. The Uprising event revealed yet another legendary with Cadet Oxton, her outfit from her very first mission with Overwatch. And for Overwatch's most recent anniversary, Blizzard gave Tracer the graffiti skin. Phew! Blizzard sure does love to accessorize their characters. Heroes of the Storm is another MOBA from Blizzard Studios that features characters from each universe they've created. This game was first released before Overwatch in June of 2015, but players could get a small taste of what was to come by receiving Tracer as a playable character when they pre-ordered Overwatch. Much like in Overwatch, Tracer takes on the assassin role in Heroes of the Storm. She is highly mobile and is great at picking off and finishing weakened enemies. She also has her signature moves from Overwatch, such as her ability to blink across the map and her powerful pulse bomb. In Heroes of the Storm, Tracer has also received skins that were never featured in Overwatch. Blizzard threw a StarCraft reference Tracer's way by giving her the Ghost skin, which resembles the Ghost unit from StarCraft. Despite being released in Heroes of the Storm prior to Overwatch's launch, Tracer was introduced to gamers first in Overwatch's 2015 trailer, and they got to know her even better during the betas. In an earlier version of the game, one of Tracer's many post-battle victory poses came into question from players online. The pose had Tracer looking over her shoulder with her back to the viewer, but because her clothing is a little more form-fitting, it seemed as if the focus was meant to be, on her rump. The opinions of fans were split somewhat evenly. Some thought Tracer was being overly sexualized, whereas others saw it as nothing more than a playful but powerful stance. A thread on the subject caught fire on Reddit, and it didn't slip past the attention of Jeff Kaplan. He noticed a posting from concerned father whose daughter had looked up to Tracer. The father mentioned that he felt the character pose wasn't entirely appropriate for the character. Kaplan also said that the pose didn't quite mesh with Tracer's character, saying that she's, quote, cute and does everything with a wink and a smile. The over-the-shoulder pose had her taking herself too seriously. Kaplan mentioned that the team would immediately work on removing the pose and that he and the other creators of Overwatch wanted everybody to feel strong and heroic in the community. He did take personal responsibility for not communicating this issue well enough to those concerned on the forums. After all that was said and done, Tracer's pose was replaced with one more in tune with her character. The new pose is much more carefree, but still maintains a fun aspect to it. Tracer has appeared in several of the Overwatch comics that have been released since the game came onto the market. She appears specifically in the Uprising comic, as well as the Winter Wonderland special, Reflections. In Reflections, we learn that Tracer does not always have her chronal accelerator on to maintain her place in time. Blizzard later explained in a separate post that as long as Tracer is near the accelerator, she can stay in the time stream. Uprising is a Tracer-centric story that focuses on Lena's first major mission with Overwatch. The comic acted as a prelude to an in-game event where players would team up as Tracer, Mercy, Reinhardt, and Torbjorn to tackle an Omnic uprising in London. In it, we learn of Tracer's motivation to join Overwatch. Tracer is in almost every one of the animated shorts that promote Overwatch, since she has ties with many of the major characters. Arguably the most memorable of her appearances is her role in Widowmaker's short story, Alive. A rivalry between Tracer and Widowmaker is hinted at in the game, and this movie solidifies that dynamic by pitting the two against each other. It also rules. It's like the best one, trust me. I mean, watch them all, but it's the best one. Right before Christmas in 2016, Blizzard made the announcement in Reflections that Tracer is indeed queer, and she has a girlfriend named Emily. Tracer's relationship with Emily was originally supposed to stay out of the game, but the developers snuck Emily into the game through some of Tracer's pre-match dialogue. She'll sometimes say,
"Wonder if I have time to visit Emily." No, better stay focused.
Many Overwatch fans rejoiced at the idea of Blizzard creating an inclusive world where everybody of all walks of life were visible. The comic shows Tracer rushing to find a last-minute Christmas gift for her girlfriend, and while she fumbles through the entire story and runs into trouble along the way, she ends up successful and is met with a heartwarming smooch from her love. Many felt as though this was the most appropriate way to go about portraying and introducing a loving queer couple without trying to make it too much of a big deal. There is always, of course, another side to the argument as well. Some fans felt as though Tracer's sexual orientation was shoehorned into the series, or felt as though it was too soon to label her as anything because nothing was previously put into words regarding her preference in romantic partners. However, the reaction overall has been positive in the gaming community. Blizzard has gone on record to say that there are multiple characters in the Overwatch universe who are part of the LGBT community, but it's important to note that the unspoken face of the game was the first to come out. And that's the lowdown on the speedster with a smile, Tracer. Once again, I'm Brendan, and thanks for watching 7 Facts About Tracer. Which was your favorite? Any other characters from Overwatch you'd like to learn about? Let us know in the comments below, and also be sure to tell us what video game you would like to see us cover next. Remember to click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad, and if you like getting more from your games, subscribe to the leaderboard where we help you game smarter. Cheers, love!